Near mint condition, the home of collected edition.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves.
Welcome to Near Mint Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. I'm your host, the Astonishing Melanie, and I'd love to give you a BBC fix, an overview of Sherlock, A Scandal in Belgravia, and Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time Lord from Titan Comics. Stay tuned. Thank you to the fine folks at Titan for sending us these review copies. Both of these books are out on the direct and book market, so they are available for purchase, with the Doctor Who being hardcover and with the Sherlock manga 2-volume set in a hardcover case. This video is dedicated to Jeff Hartz, who is a friend of mine and a friend of Omar's, who passed away recently, and he's the one who introduced us to Doctor Who. So, just thank you, Jeff, for introducing us to these wonderful, wonderful stories. And in turn, because you introduced us, we get to share it with others. So, thank you, Jeff. We miss you. I'm going to be focusing first on Doctor Who and doing an overview, and this is a direct market cover that we have right here. Like I mentioned, this is the direct market cover by Adam Hughes, and on the left we have the standard edition cover. Here's the spine, and as you can see, there is a 1 numbered up here, so there will be more in the future, which the world definitely needs. Let me tell you, I enjoyed this book. We have portraits of the characters on the end paper on the front. And it's the same on the back. There are 2 stories in here, with Firelight being the longer one. Both of them written by Dan Slott. Rhyme or Reason is the other one, with artists Christopher Jones, Matthew Dow Smith, Mike Collins. We've got colorist Charlie Kirchhoff and Marianne Guzmat. I'm sorry for not pronouncing this correctly. I don't know how to do the tilde A sound. Guzmayo, and lettering by Richard Starkings of Comic Craft. We have a little synopsis of what the Doctor is all about in his travels, in case you've never seen the show. And I recommend this as a buy for anybody who likes the show. I won't be going into spoilers, but let me tell you, reading through this, I felt like I was watching Doctor Who. Dan Slott does a great job of creating a twist or something you weren't looking for, and then you go back through the pages and you're like, oh, it was there. Gave me goosebumps. I laughed. So the Doctor is traveling with Martha Jones, and at the beginning, all the Doctors are telling their companions, like, okay, if you meet this group of aliens called the Parameth, you need to know how to escape, because they'll keep you forever telling stories until they either get tired of you, you can't tell anymore, drain your energy, etc. I believe was one of the threats. So what happens? She is captured by that race, and she's got to tell a story. And it's about the Doctor. Again, no spoilers, but you just follow this string of a story. It just keeps adding on and adding on. Like, okay, now what's next? Now what's next? And he ties it into a beautiful bow at the end. As you can see, the artist changed from when it's the, I suppose, the current time in the narrative to, like, her telling the story. I love the colors of the deep, rich blue, which is definitely reminiscent of the TARDIS. And the artists do a terrific job of making the characters look like the actors and actresses. We have a reader's guide in between the 2 stories because there are more Doctor Who comics published by Titan. The second story is about Rose on an adventure with the 9th Doctor. This one's cute. It's goofy. And as I mentioned, this one's definitely shorter of the 2. Page count for this Doctor Who hardcover is 64 pages. This retails for $17.99. And I didn't notice until showing this to you fine folks that On the doctor's tie, it's AH, which, exclamation mark, which is Adam Hughes' signature. So that's really cool that he put it on there. Now let's check out the Sherlock box set. This is, just to compare a little bit, the sizes. This is a standard size. And like I mentioned, it comes with 2 volumes. Retails for $24.99, and it is a total of 368 pages. Comes with a couple of art cards, and the box itself is sturdy. No patterns on the inside, just white. And now let's take a closer look inside of parts 1 and 2. Now for the Sherlock manga, which I thought, let me compare the size once more to a just regular size tankobon. Like, this is One Piece volume 73, so you can tell that it is bigger. This was published in Japan. This is an adaptation of Sherlock episode 4, A Scandal in Belgravia. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's an area in central London. And look at that intense expression from the woman. I love this story so much. I love you, Sherlock, so much. So the adaptation in art is done by Jay, who adapted the whole episode written by Stephen Moffat. However, this was first published in Japan. So it's created in Japan and then translated into English. So it's presented in its original formatting of reading from right to left. We have lettering by Umuna Sauhin. So again, the script is by Stephen Moffat, and it's been a few years since I've seen this episode, but I really felt like it's practically word for word. Now, I don't know that for a fact, the script, because there's so many memorable moments from the episode that I'm like, I had so much fun reading this, being like, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that. So you may be asking yourself, like, well, why not just watch the episode? Why read a manga version of it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. I found it to just be relaxing to kind of digest the story in a different format. I do love manga, and I enjoyed how the artist Jay would take a, let's say, dramatic moment and make, how do I say, like zoom in on the person's face, or, oh, this is kind of an example here. But later on, really get into that manga style of like, oh my gosh, something happened, and the person has such a dramatic facial expression that when I read that, that's what gives me goosebumps as opposed to watching. But I will tell you, while I'm reading, the music from the show was playing in my head. All right, so if you're not familiar with the BBC show, Sherlock has teamed up with John Watson, and in this story, he is, or I'm sorry, in all the stories, he's a consulting detective, and there is a woman who has the Queen of England in a bind, so to speak. It's never really mentioned, like, if this is the, and again, I won't give spoilers, this is at the beginning. It's never mentions, is it specifically the Queen of England or somebody that's close to her? But regardless, this woman, just referred to as the woman, Irene Adler, has some compromising pictures on her phone, and they need Sherlock's help to get it. The other episodes have manga versions as well, and this format really translates well in terms of, like, this part here, this goofy part where Sherlock's got an attitude and he doesn't want to go. He's not going to get dressed. He was wrapped up in a blanket, so he's just going to go with a blanket wrapped around him to the royal palace, and who cares if he ends up standing there naked? He's going to make a stand, which is definitely something you would see in a manga. And just look at that great artwork. That's Benedict Cumberbatch right there. So in the back, we've got the other manga that is available in case you've never read manga before, an explanation of how to read it. Here is the back of both books, and we see, oh, that's interesting. On both of them, this is Sherlock's brother, and with Irene Adler on this one. She is a woman, an adversary unlike anything Sherlock Holmes has ever seen. Oh man, and that ending, oh, that gave me goosebumps too. You guys, This isn't really an overview, is it? It's a review. I highly recommend it. Both of these. It was so much fun. If you're interested in purchasing either of these, please check out our sponsors. If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was the build, page count, and contents of these books. Please let us know in the comments below if you're interested in picking them up. Do you have any special memories of watching Sherlock or Doctor Who, or from reading previous stories in comic book format? Or do you want to argue about who's the best doctor in the comments? Please keep it civil. Oh, you guys are great. Thank you so much for staying till the end. And as always, stay minty.